Hi everyone. Today we have a Broan model 164 bulb heater and exhaust fan. This is a double bulb heater. It could be wired a few different ways. Today what I'm going to show you is how you would wire this where both heat lamps operate together with one switch and the exhaust fan operates with its own switch. If you take a look what I have here, this is kind of laid out on a table. It's not, mounted up in the ceiling, the can, or anything like that. This wire here would simulate coming from my breaker box and coming into my switch box. And this wire would come through the switch box, and basically the black wire, which is your hot wire, would basically connect to the hot side of your switch. Like so. That hot wire will feed both switches. The white wire coming from your breaker box is the neutral wire. That white wire will connect to the white wire that is going back up to your exhaust fan and heat lamps. The ground wire or bare wire, those two would go together. The black wire going up to your exhaust fan would basically get tied into this first switch, and this first switch is going to be your exhaust fan. So when you flip that switch, your exhaust fan will turn on. The second switch is basically the red wire going back to your exhaust fan. It's going to connect to that switch post terminal right here, and that's going to operate both your lamps or your heat bulbs. So I'm going to go over it real quick one more time. This is the power coming into the switch. The black wire gets connected to the hot side of the switch. Your neutral wire gets connected to the white wire going back to your fan. The bare wire or green wire is your ground, so it's bare to bare or green to green. The black wire is basically the wire that's going back up to your fan. That's going to go to the top switch terminal, and that's going to operate your exhaust fan. And the red wire is going to operate your heat lamps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow this wire all the way back up, and now we're up at the the box up in the ceiling. If this was mounted, basically you take one screw out, this whole cover comes down. I have everything wired together here. I have a approved wire restraint. You always want to make sure you have a wire restraint that prevents this wire from pulling back. So up inside this unit, so this is the wire that came from your switch box. All the whites are going to go together. You're going to have 3 whites, 1, 2, and 3. The black from your switch will get tied to the blue. And your red from the switch will get tied to the black, red, and yellow to your box. And again, green is ground. So I'm going to go through it one more time. The white wire coming up from your switch box gets tied to 2 other white wires inside that box. The black wire coming from the switch gets tied to the blue. And the red wire coming from your switch gets tied to the black, red, and yellow. And your green is your ground. That's all it is. I sure hope this video helps. Thanks.